Running a content business is a dream that a lot of us have, but very few actually manage to make a full-time living from their creative work. Main reason being just how goddamn volatile a creator's income can be, especially if you're over-reliant on ads. So today, I'm taking you down a rabbit hole of how to build a bulletproof YouTube income strategy. Let's go. If you're new here, I'm Roham and I'm on a mission to make a full-time living out of YouTube in just 2 semesters by the time I graduate from university so I can avoid getting a normal job. And I'm going to document my journey and share with you everything I learned along the way so together we can build a creator economy middle class. So, here's what I've learned. The average content creator diversifies their income across 4 main sectors: YouTube Adsense, sponsorships and brand deals, selling their own product and merch, and direct community support, basically Patreon. Right off the bat, I have a major problem with the first 2. Not that I'm big enough as a channel to even have access to them yet, but I will never allow them to become more than 30 to 40% of my business. The latter 2, on the other hand, I will hack them as much as possible and I will rely on them as the main source of growth for my business. Here's why I don't like the first 2. Aside from the fact that I just don't like advertising as a whole, I find it to be an unsustainable and amoral business model, but that's a topic for another video. I don't trust AdSense as a major source of income for 2 reasons. Number 1, you would be at the mercy of YouTube. I'm sure you've all heard of Apocalypse 1.0, 2.0, and generally YouTubers complaining about their content getting demonetized. And that's the thing, you'll never own this revenue stream. YouTube owns it, whom, while accepting to host your videos at a very high quality for free and share them with billions of users, also sometimes gives you a 55% cut of the ads that they run on those videos. That's a pretty sweet deal. It can definitely be a great subsidy for you to keep creating great content, but it's not sustainable and you're always at the mercy of YouTube. Number 2, it needs too much scale and it's just too volatile. You can't even start running ads on YouTube until you reach a certain size. Once you do, it takes hundreds of thousands of views, aka years of tireless work, before you can sustain yourself. Even when it reaches that level, it will always be an extremely volatile source of income, as any YouTuber would agree. It might bring thousands of dollars in just a few weeks and might basically disappear the next month. That is not the formula for stable cash flow. Now, brand deals and sponsorships can actually add up to a great business model. Companies are willing to spend a lot of money to get you to pitch their products to your audience. They're asking you to use your reputation and the trust that you've built with your community to help them sell more, and that's incredible. Most advertising platforms just can't offer that. It's also a relatively sustainable revenue model. It's on average the biggest source of income for most YouTubers. And with the right contacts and enough scale, you can actually build a great business out of it. But that's the problem. I don't have the scale yet. Even if I did, I have another major problem with sponsorships. Once you start selling other people's products, your conversion rate nosedives when you start selling your own. And here it comes, a smooth transition to the third and my favorite income source, selling your own products and merch. At this point, I'm convinced that selling your own products, whether it's software, hardware, or experiences, is the #1 way of growing a content business. In fact, your videos are already a product of your business that take a lot of resources to produce. So to make that return on investment go through the roof, you need to sell something with your name, blood, and sweat on it. Not literally, although if that's what you're into, I mean, people buy someone else's used bathwater, so go for it. As for myself, I currently have 2 products in the pipeline, 1 software and 1 hardware. I'll keep you posted on the progress on those very soon. The reality is that you can sell anything you can relate to. It doesn't really need to take a lot of effort, even sometimes less effort than making a video. But there are a few things that you need to remember. The goal is to make a product that really solves the problem for your customer. The product you sell can be pure merchandising, just your name slapped on some t-shirt. But frankly, that's quite boring and it's not gonna go that far because you're not really adding that much value. The product you sell needs to resonate with people that don't even know you exist. Of course, you are the brand behind it. Your audience is a loyal marketing channel that you don't even need to buy with your ads because you already have their attention. That's why your product will succeed much faster than someone without a supportive audience behind them. But you should be able to sell it to anyone with the problem you're solving, regardless of their awareness of you. If your product is truly great, then you can make a full-time living out of it, even with just a few hundred subscribers and followers. And over the next few months, I'm going to prove that. Two of my favorite examples on YouTube are Chamberlain Coffee by Emma Chamberlain and Teach Hanley by Alpha M. They're both standalone products that genuinely solve a problem and aren't just relatable to their audiences, even though that audience is the main marketing channel for the products. As you start growing, you can start doing crazier stuff like Mr. Beast with Mr. Beast Burger and Finger on the app. Slidebean is an example of a company that had a great product and used generally helpful videos on YouTube that was perfectly tailored to their audience to grow their business. Same concept, just done the other way around. You build the product first, then grow an audience. Still works. And finally, speaking of a loyal audience, a handful of your fans are so in love with your content that they're willing to financially support you on platforms like Patreon. This is my second favorite way of monetizing your channel. Main reason being, once you convert someone to become a patron, you really have to mess up for them to leave. Don't hear it from me, hear it from Patreon CEO Jack Conte.
Okay, trend number 3. Patrons are loyal AF, even as creators change. This chart shows for patrons who have been around at least 2 years, how much money are they paying the same creators? And this isn't a cumulative view, this is month by month. In other words, longtime fans not only stick around, but on the whole, creators are earning more every month from their OG patrons.
Now, it's really important to avoid treating your Patreon as charity. It's a subscription just like to a publication, and you should respect your audience by providing extra value worth that subscription. How do you do that? Well, I'll be releasing a Patreon masterclass just 2 days after this video goes live, where I'll go super in depth into how to provide extra value on Patreon and growth hack it and build a sustainable business out of it. So make sure you subscribe to catch that one. I don't want to spoil it all right here. And one more thing, I'm offering 20 free coaching and brainstorming sessions to the first 20 people who subscribe and reach out with that link below. So make sure you catch that one, it's really worth it. See you next time.